Today I'll be sharing many different tips and tricks that will help you level up quicker, save yourself a lot of gold and time, and last but not least, gear up your character a bit faster in the Burning Crusade. The first is for those of you with alchemy. You can become a specialist, and the easiest and cheapest solution is Master of Potion. The moment you have done this quest line, you can unlearn the specialization for 150 gold, go to one of the other specialists and learn it without having to do the quest line. And those of you who would like to become a transmutation master will not only save yourself a lot of time, but a lot of gold as well. Tailors can do something similar. You can unlearn a specialization for 150 gold. So the moment you have done your specialization quest and crafted 2 of the same cloth, well, then you head back to Shattered City to unlearn it and do another quest line. For example, the one to become a Primal Mooncloth specialist. And the moment you have done the quest line, well, then you can craft 2 Mooncloths. And the great thing is that all of these doesn't share cooldown, so you could in fact be making 2 of each cloth every single time. In Shattered City, we can choose between helping 1 out of 2 factions, Aldor or Scryers. Those of you playing Draenei or Blood Elf gotta pay attention. If you decide to help the Aldor as a Draenei, then you will be getting some additional reputation. If you decide to help Scryers, you won't be getting as far, and it's the other way around as a Blood Elf. That being said, it shouldn't be the reason for choosing 1 out of the 2 factions. Make sure to check the different rewards. Maybe there's going to be something useful for your specific character. The next is for those of you playing a rogue. Consider leveling up lockpicking so you can open up the different dungeon doors, unless you don't mind spending a lot of time doing the long quest chains to get these keys. Or another solution is just to die close to the dungeon doors. Get into ghost form, run past the doors and release on the other side. It is a nice trick at the start, but at some point it will just be better to get the key. Now that I'm already talking about dungeons, those are important to do while leveling up. You're being granted a lot of experience and reputation. Lower level Burning Crusade dungeons will grant you reputation almost up to Honored, where higher level dungeons will work up to Exalted. That way we have kept a lot of quests for max level, and at max level we will be granted additional gold. And another important thing to remember is that these quests will continue to grant you reputation past Honored. Is it really that important? Definitely. There might be a faction specific reward you would like to go for as quickly as possible. Another reason is that they've done an amazing change in Anniversary. We can buy PvP gear at Honored. In other words, we don't have to farm an insane amount of honor and BG marks to get ready for arenas. Yet another reason for why you have to focus on reputation is because of another new item that has been introduced. The first time you get to Revered, you can buy this item, and a future old character will only need to get to Friendly to unlock that specific heroic key. Don't forget to start the Karazhan Attunement at level 68 instead of starting this at level 70, else you won't be granting experience as you're progressing through the different steps, and there will be many and a lot of experience to be claimed. I've covered the entire attunement in another video, and I've left this in the description, just in case you're wondering exactly what you need to do. You'll most likely find quite a few super mana potions. If you don't need those yourself, well then keep them for when the raids are being released. By that time the price will probably be 2 to 3 times as expensive. If you would like to level as efficient as possible, then I would recommend you to be getting a Leveling Addon. The one I'm using right here will be left in the description. There's an arrow guiding you in the direction you gotta head to. Quest text has been shortened. There will be steps indicating where you gotta head to. It's working for both factions for free up to 30, and it's of course showing the different steps on your map as well. There's a full version you can buy that works all the way up to level 70, not only for questing, it works for reputation farms, and even a dungeon leveling guide easy to follow from 60 to 70. The full version is purchased through the link, and by using that link you automatically receive a discount. This helps me as a content creator so I can spend more time on new guides. Anyway, on to the next trick. At level 62, and then for every 2 levels, there will be a new important spell to unlock at your trainer. Therefore, you gotta make sure you head there all the way up to 70 in case you would like to, for example, unlock your flight form at level 68 as a druid. My own plan is to bind my Hearthstone to Shattered City, because from Shattered City there will be portals to the other cities where you can find your trainer. Don't forget that mages can learn teleport at 60 and portal at 65. You can honestly make quite a bit of gold by selling portals to other people at the start of the expansion, and we're not just talking about high level characters. No, low level characters as well. Those will benefit a lot from having the opportunity to go to all the different cities without constantly having to find a mage to go to either Eastern Kingdoms or Kalimdor. Don't forget to do Ring of Blood in Nagrand. This quest chain can be started at level 65. It rewards you with a lot of experience, gold, and consumables you can keep or use while leveling up. The final quest rewarding a rare weapon, and that will be something for pretty much every single class in the game. Amazing from 65 to 70, unless you're bringing a character into Burning Crusade with full Next Rammas gear. Those Next Rammas weapons will be way better. Whenever you get a new weapon type you haven't used for quite some time, then you need to level up those skills. Head to the auction house and look for the same weapon type, but one with quick attack speed. This allows you to hit more frequently and level up the weapon skill a lot faster. I would highly recommend you to practice the new feature Set Focus, and this is no matter if you like to PvP or PvE. Set Focus allows you to see what another target is doing even though you're targeting yourself or something else. In this case, I can for example see that my focus target, so the gnome, is casting Hearthstone. The easiest way to set a focus target is to make a macro that says /focus. This you drag to your action bar, and now you just target whatever you would like to. You press on the macro and you will have yourself a new focus target. Or you can target nothing, press the macro, and you will clear your focus target. The moment you have got used to this, you can start using macros that allows you to hit your focus target. For example, something like this, you just replace the spell name with whatever spell or ability you would like to use. And a quick example, Skull being my main target and Square my focus target. As you can see, the macros are working, and I will leave those in the description. We can buy bullets and arrows at the different Outland Quartermasters, but instead of going to those locations, then you can always head to Shattered City. In Shattered City, we got the possibility to buy everything, but the location all depends on if you have chosen to help the Aldor or the Scryers. The next thing is something that carries over from Classic, but you will still be able to continue downranking. So using a lower rank that won't be healing or doing as much damage, but requiring way less mana. A quick example, a tank almost being at full health. There's no need to use the highest rank of a heal, as you will just end up doing a lot of overhealing. Another situation is arenas. You're constantly getting despelled. Here you can use rank 1 buffs to protect some of your remaining buffs. Earlier in the video I talked about choosing Aldor or Scryers, but there's yet another thing to be aware of. If you're using scripts, add-ons or macros to automatically hand in quests, then you might be picking Aldor by default, and then you gotta spend thousands of gold to correct your mistake. And this is not the only quest, because the raid Karazhan rewards your reputation with a faction called the Violet Eye. And as you get to friendly, you can choose 1 out of 4 rings. One of those rings might be chosen by default. If it ends up happening, then you gotta farm your Violet Eye reputation all the way up to Exalted. At Exalted, you can then pay a bit of gold to exchange it into something else. The next trick is for those of you mainly watching this video in the pre-patch. We can buy different recipes and patterns on the auction house, including classic materials. We can use these in the Burning Crusade to speed level our professions, and it will of course be useful while the Burning Crusade materials are expensive or not even on the auction house. These classic materials can get some professions to 330 and all the way up to 340. I've covered each individual profession and what you gotta craft in another video you can find in the description. On my channel you can find a lot of other useful Burning Crusade guides, and soon a lot more you definitely don't want to miss, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. The future videos will for example be about leveling, gold making, and things we can do to quickly gear up. As always, thanks you so much for watching and have an amazing day. Peace.